died.
What? Excuse you? Are we being led by a ghost?
I have no life to give. Everything I am, everything I could have been, was surrendered to this lake. That is the only reason why I am able to stand before you now.
Oh, so not like literally. Like you just don't have anything else. Like, this is all you have, basically. So you've not died, you've been dramatic.
I can show you the way, and I can give you advice on how to survive the perils you will face. That is all I'm able to offer. Is that not enough for you? What else do you want from me? Kindness? Sympathy? It's been far too many years since I was capable of giving anything like that.
Stone Cold Mother. He finally stops to catch his breath, though the emotion in his eyes still shines intently. There is no response from either of us. An agonizing silence permeates the air. No one dares to even move. The tension is cut as the boards beneath me start to creak. My eyes dart down. The bridge is sinking, rapidly. Instinctively I jump backwards, but the new section of bridge groans horribly as it too starts to tilt into the water. Jump! They keep getting farther and farther away with each disappearing platform I move off of.
Kika!
I look up at Bemley's call. My chest tightens when I see him and the guide on what has become the other side of a small chasm. I leap back just in time as the bridge under me snaps like a twig. Glancing over again, they keep getting further and farther away with each disappearing platform I move off of. Dread creeps up my neck and I nearly lose my footing once I realise what's happening. Desperately stumbling backwards, I finally manage to regain my balance. I use this to leap far enough back that the bridge I land on doesn't immediately start to fall apart under my weight. In another three swift steps, I am finally on sturdy wood. The bridges reluctantly stop shifting and settle. The only trace left of what was once a huge section of bridge is a few splintered boards floating in the murky water. Well, that ain't good. The lake consumed it. Somehow I am not surprised. Regaining my bearings, I face what has become of my circumstances. I am now separated from Bemley and the guide by a far wider gorge than anyone could leap. My throat goes bone dry as I teeter at the end of the bridge, mind wildly scrambling for a solution that doesn't come. I lock onto Bemley's face. He's completely aghast, darting from one side of the bridge to another like a panicked animal. There is no mistaking that he's desperate to help me in some way. However, there's also no mistaking that there aren't any options available to him. He turns to the guide with pleading eyes, all his earlier hostility sunken with the bridges. I'm too far off to grasp what Bemley is asking, but I get the impression he is seeing if there's another way. The guide turns to me. He's completely cooled down from the earlier interaction, back to his same placid expression. He isn't going to help us, is he? He focuses back on Bemley, who has now gripped him by the cloak. The guide says one word. Judging from the look of pure terror on Bemley's face, I can only assume it was a no. There's no way back to them. The guide frees himself from Bemley's grasp and continues speaking. Bemley still seems horribly shaken at his words. I can barely see from here, but I think he's quivering. As I watch the two discuss my fate, unable to say anything, fear starts to crawl over me. My arms run cool, too cold, to freezing. It's not long before the rest of my body follows. I notice Bemley cover his face with his still, shuddering hand. The guide's voice echoes loudly across the waters, separating me from them. Oh.
Go back and take the next bridge you come across that goes west. There may be enough time for you to find your own way.
Oh damn. I blink, taken aback for a moment before I quickly regain my composure. That's right. This isn't over. I still have my lantern with me. The prowlers are less active, and if the guide says it's possible, it could be true. I nod solemnly at his words and yell back.
I'll meet you there! Don't wait for me!
He bows his head and starts to slowly back away from the edge. Bemley puts his head from his hand to look at me. Even across the water I can tell that he's crying. I smile forlornly at him as the wind whips against my back. I
You
speak
need to
softly.
go.
There is no way he could have heard me, yet I'm confident that the sentiment got across. I spin on my heels and run back the way we came, searching for the bridge the guide said to take. I can only hope that we all safely reunite before this night ends. I spare a brief glance behind me, however there's not a trace of them, or even the dead end I was stranded at. With a painful contracting of my heart, I realise that I am truly alone now. Quickly I shake off the thought and refocus my attention on what's in front of me. The first branching of the path comes into reach. I skid into a full stop in front of it. The path west is as dark and desolate as every bridge. It's impossible to see what's down the twisting way. Ooh. The previous conversation comes floating back to me. Now that I'm here, I must face that concern. Is the guide reliable? Can he be trusted? I had to leave so they could go on without being weighed down. That I don't regret. However, I can't help but wonder if the guide couldn't give me a proper suggestion because of the sinking bridges. A mistake could have been made. It is also possible he knowingly gave false hope to keep the situation calm. Or perhaps he intentionally set me on the wrong path because it would be easier for them if I did not make it. I look between the pathways. Based on my direction, it does not seem as though other options could potentially connect me to them before the west does. Yet I cannot possibly know until I move forward. I need to make a decision. No, I can't allow doubt to take control. We've known from the beginning that there is only one path that has led travellers to safety. His. I will take the guide on his word. Well, let's hope. Without wasting an additional moment, I make my way across the western bridge. I walk at a moderately brisk pace, not wanting to risk tripping or running out of energy in the moment when I need it. In the eeriness of the lake, I can't say that word, oh my god. If the eeriness, there we go, I can speak, of the lake was disconcerting before, now it is overwhelming. The blizzard-like fog drifting over the waters limits my vision to the span of my arms. Ooh. The utter silence was a comfort, despite how otherworldly it felt, but the whispering of the lake has started to stir now. I gulp despite myself. They've noticed me. Oh damn! As their chattering grows, I consider briefly if the others hear them as well, or if they have come out specifically because I'm on my own. I straighten my back and walk more surely. I cannot let them believe I am an easy target. I even consider keeping my sword in hand, but it doesn't seem entirely likely they would realise it is something that could hurt them. To keep my mind from wandering into dark places, I count my steps like we used to in training. 1, 2, 3, 4. Despite my best efforts, things are starting to get to me. My worries wash over me, causing painful twinges underneath my clothes that make me jerk and twitch like a fly-bitten horse. The whispering inhuman voices, the feeling of vulnerability, the horrible thought of being hopelessly lost, all melded together, is consuming me.